All the amazing things AI can do. Well, picture this. Researchers asked ChatGPT and Claude to count soccer goals from a rooftop video. Sounds pretty simple, right?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But they both got the count wrong.
It's interesting, isn't it? It shows that AI, isn't perfect. We think of these tools as being almost superhuman,
Right.
but they can still trip up on tasks that seem super basic to us humans.
Yeah, it definitely challenges the perception that AI is this foolproof solution for everything. It has
Exactly.
its limitations.
But this whole soccer goal thing sparked a really cool idea. What if, instead of just relying on one AI to do it all, we used a whole bunch of different AI tools together? Almost like putting together a dream team with specialized skills.
Yeah, that's essentially the concept of AI multimodality, combining different AI capabilities, not in isolation, but together, sort of like an orchestra,
Oh, I like that.
where each instrument plays a specific role to create a harmonious whole.
So it's not about finding one AI superhero. It's about assembling a powerful team.
Exactly, and the potential is huge.
Yeah.
By bringing together tools that are good at research, prototyping, visualization, even creative tasks like music or art, we can tackle those complex topics in a way that's way more insightful than traditional methods.
It's like having all these different lenses to examine a problem from every angle.
Exactly.
And that's what today's deep dive is all about.
Yeah.
An experiment where researchers did exactly that. They used a suite of AI tools to understand a topic. And get this, they used AI to investigate AI itself.
Yeah, they called their approach ananas juice,
Oh, okay.
which is Danish for pineapples in their own juice.
I love that.
It's a quirky name.
It is.
But it perfectly captures the idea of using AI to analyze and understand its own nature.
So they were basically holding a mirror up to the technology. All right, so tell me about the AI players on this team. What tools did they use, and what were their roles in this research project?
Well, they started with Perplexity, which is kind of like a super-powered research assistant. Their task for Perplexity was to gather information on how different AI tools can be combined for research.
So they were basically asking Perplexity to research itself.
Pretty meta.
Right.
Yeah, that's so meta.
And Perplexity created a really comprehensive summary of everything it found
Okay.
that became the foundation for the whole project.
I see. So Perplexity laid the groundwork.
Exactly.
What was next?
Next, they brought in Claude.
Oh, Claude.
Claude's strength is in prototyping new ideas,
Okay.
creating different kinds of content. You could think of it as the digital architect of the group.
Mm-hmm.
They gave Claude the research from Perplexity and challenged it to design a system for combining AI tools. Claude even wrote song lyrics based on the themes of the project.
Oh, wow. We're going to have to talk about that later.
Absolutely.
So we've got Perplexity as the researcher, Claude as the architect. Who else joined the team?
Well, next up was Suno,
Suno.
the AI musician.
Okay.
Suno can compose music based on any themes or lyrics you give it. So it took the lyrics Claude wrote.
And turned them into an actual song.
So now we have an AI-generated song about AI research.
That's right.
I'm very curious to hear about that.
We'll get into the details later.
Okay, all right. So Perplexity, Claude, Suno. Who else?
Then they brought in Napkin, which is a tool that's really good at creating illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
Napkin's job was to visualize the research findings and the different AI tools involved in the project.
Oh, visualizing complex information is so helpful. It's like it unlocks a different part of your brain.
It really does.
Yeah.
And then there was Flux.1,
Flux 21.
another tool for visual representation. But with a more ambitious goal, it aimed to create a visual map of the entire topic.
Wow, so like a big picture view of the whole research landscape.
Exactly.
That sounds really powerful. Okay, so now we have all these different AI tools, each with their own specialty. But how do they actually all work together? Do they just throw all of this into a big digital pot and hope for the best?
Well, not quite. They needed a way to organize everything, so they used Miro as their central hub. It's a collaborative workspace where they could bring together the outputs from all the different tools.
So Miro is like the conductor of this AI orchestra,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
making sure all the instruments are in sync.
Exactly. It helped them
Okay.
track the research, the prototypes, the visuals, the music, creating this master map of the entire project.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's one more tool that I think you'll find especially interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They used Hedy.ai, which acts as a kind of conversational partner.
Oh.
It listened in on their discussions, captured their ideas, and even offered suggestions.
Hold on, are you saying an AI was participating in their brainstorming sessions?
Exactly.
Wow.
It was giving real-time feedback and advice, almost like having another researcher at the table.
Okay, my mind is officially bending a little bit here. This is
Well,
getting complex. So they had this dream team of AI tools all working together on this project. What did they actually do? Walk me through it.
Welcome back to the deep dive into AI-powered research. So last time, we were just about to see how this AI dream team actually tackled the research project.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how it all came together. Did they make any groundbreaking discoveries using this multi-tool approach?
Well, the first step was Perplexity, their AI research assistant.
Hmm?
They gave it the core question, that pineapples in their own juice idea, and asked it to dig into the research on using AI to understand AI itself.
So Perplexity had to go through a ton of research papers, articles, reports, and find everything about this specific topic.
Exactly. And Perplexity did a fantastic job. It created this comprehensive overview of all the existing knowledge on AI multimodality, highlighting the different approaches, potential benefits, even some of the challenges researchers were facing.
It's incredible how quickly AI can analyze all that information. It would take a human researcher forever,
It really would.
weeks or months maybe.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage of using AI for research. It really speeds things up. But, it's not just about speed. It's about gaining new perspectives and finding those hidden insights that traditional methods might miss.
Totally. So they had Perplexity set the stage with its research. Then what? How did the other AI tools come into play?
Right. So next they brought in Claude, their digital architect. Remember, Claude's good at coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
They gave Claude all the research from Perplexity and said, okay, design a system for combining AI tools for research.
So they actually started building a system to see how it would work in practice. That's really cool.
It is, and they used Miro to visualize how all these different tools would connect.
We get that central hub.
Exactly.
So they were literally mapping out the flow of information.
Yeah, turning an abstract idea into something tangible.
I see. So the Perplexity gathering the knowledge, Claude designing the system, and Miro providing this visual canvas, they were hitting the research from every angle.
Exactly, and that's where you really see the magic of AI multimodality.
It's like they created this feedback loop
Yeah.
where each tool built on the work of the others.
It's really interesting, but like any experiment, there were a few hiccups along the way.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well, remember, Flux.1, the tool that was supposed to create a visual map of the whole topic,
yeah.
it didn't quite do what they were hoping for.
Oh, right, the Viking with the AI tattoos.
Yeah.
Visually amazing, but not exactly the insightful map they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do when Flux went off on a Viking tangent? Did they just scrap that whole idea?
No, they brought in another powerful AI, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, the one that can write just about anything.
Right. What do they use it for?
They used its ability to summarize and synthesize information. They gave it all the data they had.
Wow, so everything.
Everything, the Perplexity research, Claude's prototypes, even their notes from Miro. And they asked ChatGPT to make a clear, concise summary of the whole project.
So ChatGPT was basically looking at the big picture, trying to assemble all the pieces.
Exactly, and it did an amazing job. It generated a summary that covered every key point, highlighted the benefits and challenges of the multi-tool approach. It even pointed out areas where more research was needed.
So ChatGPT wasn't just repeating information, it was offering insights.
It was, and that's the human-in-the-loop concept.
Right.
The AI was doing the heavy lifting. But it was still the humans guiding the process, asking the right questions and interpreting the results.
So it's about finding the right balance. AI helping us, not replacing us.
Exactly. And this brings us to one of the coolest parts of the experiment, the music.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. Tell me everything.
Well, they took the song lyrics that Claude wrote and had Sino, the AI musician, turn them into an actual song.
So what kind of song did Suno create?
Well, it's actually quite unique. It's in a Hindi doo-wop style.
Hindi doo-wop. That's amazing, and I never would have guessed that.
It's this really interesting mix of Indian musical elements and that classic American vocal harmony.
Why that style?
They wanted to highlight how global AI research is. It's a collaboration that goes beyond borders and cultures.
I love that it's like the music reflects that interconnectedness.
Exactly. And the lyrics Claude wrote, they captured the excitement of exploring these new frontiers, the challenges, even the philosophical questions we face when we think about AI.
So they have research, prototypes, visualizations, summaries, and now a Hindi doo-wop song. What else could they possibly do?
Well, remember Notebook LM, the AI podcast producer?
Yeah.
They gave Notebook LM all of their findings, the prototypes, the summaries, even the lyrics in the song.
So they made a whole podcast episode about the project.
They did.
That's incredible.
And it highlights one of the key takeaways. AI multimodality isn't just about doing research faster. It's about finding new ways to understand and share information. Imagine a world where research isn't just these dry, technical papers, but immersive, multisensory experiences.
That would completely change how we think about research.
It would, and it leads to a really important question. What does all this mean for the average person? How can this ananasi-egan juice approach help people who aren't scientists in a lab?
It's a great question. We'll explore that in detail in the final part of our deep dive. We're back for the final part of our deep dive, and it's been a wild ride so far. We've seen how researchers combined a bunch of different AI tools to explore the idea of, well, using AI to understand AI itself. It's mind-blowing, to be honest. It feels like we're witnessing the beginning of something huge, wouldn't you say?
It really does. But as we wrap up, it's important to step back and think about the bigger picture. How can this ananasi-egan juice approach, that's what they called it, right?
Pineapples in their own juice.
How can that impact the everyday person?
Yeah, that's a great question. Most of us aren't going to be writing Hindi doo-wop songs about AI anytime soon, even with AI's help, probably. So what does this all mean for everyday life?
Well, the main takeaway is that AI multimodality, combining all these different tools, it can change how we learn and how we understand information.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Imagine a world where research isn't trapped in those boring academic journals.
Yeah, those aren't exactly page turners.
No, they're not. What if complex ideas could come alive with visuals, soundtracks, stories created by AI?
That sounds incredible. But how would that work in real life?
Let's take education, for example. Instead of reading textbooks, students could learn history through AI simulations.
Also, like actually experiencing historical events.
Exactly. They could listen to music composed by AI to match the emotions of the era, or even have conversations with AI versions of historical figures.
Wow, that would make history so much more engaging.
Definitely.
What about other areas?
Well, think about journalism. AI could help journalists analyze huge amounts of data, identify important trends, and create really compelling stories. It could even personalize content for different audiences.
So it's all about making information more accessible and engaging. Like AI is bridging the gap between all that information out there and our ability to understand it.
Exactly, and that's the real power of AI multimodality. It's not about replacing us, it's about enhancing what we can do.
It's about human with AI, not versus.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that idea of pineapples in their own juice. It's not just AI analyzing itself. It's about using AI to understand ourselves better and to unlock new possibilities for human potential.
This whole deep dive has been so thought-provoking. It makes you realize just how much AI can change things, not just in research, but in every part of our lives. It's both exciting and a little bit scary,
I agree, and we have to remember these AI tools are just that, tools. We need human guidance to make sure they're used responsibly and ethically.
That's a really important point.
It is.
As we embrace this technology, we need to make sure it's creating a better future for everyone.
I couldn't agree more.
This has been such a fascinating journey.
It has.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface of what's possible.
We have, but that's the beauty of it, right?
Absolutely.
There's so much more to explore.
And to everyone listening, what pineapple in its own juice questions would you explore? What could you discover with AI by your side?
Keep asking questions, keep experimenting, and who knows what amazing things you'll find.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But remember, the exploration doesn't stop here. Until next time, keep diving deep.